Hello, my name is Reyes again. So I'm making this video.
Man, how are you? How is life? You still remember the other problem you told me?
Hello.
Oh.
Hi. How are you?
You're fine?
I'm Reyes.
Patrick.
Can I have your minutes, guys? I just need to ask you some few questions.
Okay. Because you're beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, today is 23rd January 2020. My name is Mugiraneza. I'm a student in the Bachelor of Arts program with College for America at Southern New Hampshire University. And I'm conducting this interview as part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use the information in government and youth deliverable I'm working on for contribute to the society as a goal, and the interview will be used to create the deliverable that I will submit. It's called Government and You, and submitted to College for America so that my project can be evaluated. This recording will be used solely for this purpose. The interview information will be temporarily stored in the College for America online evaluation system, to which only the evaluator and College for America will access. So do you have any questions before I continue?
No.
So I would like you guys to give me your consent.
So I, Patrick Muhire, give my informed consent to participate in this interview to be recorded and used as part of the students' academic work.
Thank you.
So again, I, Tal Kapua, give my informed consent to participate in this interview to be recorded and used as part of students' academic work.
Okay, thank you. So I have a couple of questions to ask you guys. So you've been hearing about the United States of America. And my first question is, what are the branches of US government?
One I know is the legislature, executive, and judiciary.
Judiciary.
Yeah.
Are the same?
Yes, there are three.
Okay, what do you think does each branch do, if you have any idea?
So I would say the executive, it's part of elections where they can vote the president. Like I would say, for example, someone who is below 18 years old is not allowed to vote for the president. And going back to judiciary, this is where we face the Supreme Court and the lower courts. And back to the legislative, it's in terms of laws, how laws are being elected, or even to give green light of laws to be used as allowed in the whole country.
Okay, thank you. Have interesting answers. So my second question is, there are two parties, the two known parties in the US. So this is Democratic and Republican. So apart from these parties, do you know any other known as third party or minor parties in the USA?
And the conservatives, right?
Like the third parties, example of the third parties,
Green something.
green parties.
Yeah, green parties.
Okay, do you know any? Okay, it's fine. What is the what is the main process by which a bill becomes a law?
Let me tell you, I would say when it's because every bill has to go through the court, and they have to either amend some of its clauses, and it has to be voted to be allowed to use for use. So that's what I think. How laws, bills are being transformed into laws.
Okay. Any idea?
I don't have a lot of ideas.
Okay, it's fine. Thank you guys for your time. Any information you'd like to provide about the U.S. government?
I would say no.
No? Okay, thank you. You can continue. So the first question asks, what are the three branches of the U.S. government? The respondents answered the legislative, the executive, and judicial. And that was right, that's true, but I would like to add something. What is the role of the three branches? What do they really do? As you've seen in the first video, they didn't mention all the roles of the US branches, and you allow me to read some of them because it's a government that I'm not used to, of course. So the executive branch is in charge of voting the president, and only citizens above 18 years old are the ones allowed to vote. The legislative is the Congress and makes the laws. It is divided into the Senate, and there are 100 senators from each of the states. And the second part is the House of Representatives. They meet together and discuss the ideas whether they can become laws. There are 434 representatives from the states, and some states, of course, has two people among the House of Representatives. And the judicial is the Supreme Court and 9 justices. There are special judges who interpret laws according to the Constitution. The two bottom corners are the judicial branch and legislative branch, also called the Congress. Each part of the government is connected to the other. That means that they work hand in hand. Each has its own responsibilities and powers, and a system of checks and balances prevents one branch from being higher than another. So it ensures the balance of the branches. So while checks and balances, each of the three branches can limit the powers of the others. This way, one branch might become too powerful, but the checks and balance allows the balance between the three branches. So the second question asks, what does Democrats and Republicans are the major parties. Can you name the third party? First of all, I would like to include the answers that my respondents gave. The one who was able to answer said that another example of the third party is the Green Party. But I would state others. There is the Constitutional Party also, and the Libertarian Party as the third parties. And the question asked, how did the two-party system start? I mean, the Democrats and the Republicans. So it's the story. You allow me to read again. So the politics of the 1790s, like the United States today, was dominated by the arguments of two distinct political groups, the Federalists and Anti-Federalists. The political parties of the 1790s emerged because of disagreements over three main issues: the nature of the government, the economy, and the foreign policy. So Alexander Hamilton, leader of the Federalists, and Thomas Jefferson, the leader of Federalists, also known as Democrats and Republicans. That was the name of the Anti-Federalists. By 1800, the Federalist Party effectively disappeared when Thomas Jefferson and Federalist Party, the Democratic and Republicans as well, bet his old friends John Adams and the Federalists to the presidency. This ended the Federalists and stayed with Democrats and Republicans. So the disappearance of Federalists meant the stay of Anti-Federalists, who are Republicans and Democrats. So what impact do third parties have on national politics? So actually that's the story behind the two-party system. So what the impact of third parties? So in the United States, minor parties include Libertarian, as I've said, the Green Party, the Constitution Party, and others that have less influence on the major parties, I mean the Democrats and Republicans. So they have been the third party's candidates have limited success that can impact the national outcome if they capture just the right percentage of votes in the right states in the United States. I mean the states in the United States. Okay, the third party impact the national politics in this way because they are able to give their candidates, and then they participate in the elections. They are being voted for, but their success is very limited since they are not the main parties, you know. And There is another question which asks that what is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law? So after, this is the politics of the US of A, so that's why I'm reading some of the key points, because I don't live in the same government. But the process by which the bill becomes the law is that after both the House of Representatives and the Senate approves the bill, an identical form is sent to the President. If the President approves legislation, he signs and becomes a law. That's how the bill becomes the law. Or if the President takes no action for 10 days while the Congress is in session, it automatically becomes the law. So the President has to answer. If he doesn't answer for the period of 10 days, it automatically becomes the law. First of all, I would like to take you through the process by which the respondents said. They say that the bill becomes the law when the legislative party comes together and they decide for it to become the law by the Constitution. That's what Mokhtar, one of my respondents, answered, and Patrick was not able to make it. So another question asks, how does the bill become the law, and describe the role of sponsors, committees, and debate and voting. So a sponsor of a bill represents a bill, and those who support it are called co-patrons. That's what the sponsor of a bill, of course, sponsors it, the verb to sponsor. And committees are essential part of legislative process. They monitor ongoing governmental operations, identify issues suitable for legislative party. That's the role of committees. They gather and evaluate information to the Senate. And debates help candidates to expose their political opinions and public policy proposals. And this helps in voting the citizens, and in voting also citizens participate in elections. So the debates allows the citizens to know they want to vote according to one who is able. There are different debates that have been happening, and you've been hearing in some of them. So this is the role of sponsors, committees, debates, and voting. So mainly these were the answers provided to the questions about the government and you as the project. Thank you for taking your time listening to this video.